La La Land is one of my favorite movies. I could not stop thinking about it after I watched it for the first time. In college, my friends and I did a movie night in our dorm common room, and let me yap about every little thing I loved about this movie. I'm sure they regretted it immediately after they realized that I really wasn't going to shut up, but it was a nice gesture. La La Land, for those who don't know, was released in theaters in December of 2016. I didn't watch it right when it came out, so I heard all the hype about it, but I wasn't following it at the time. I do remember the Oscars slip-up and all the buzz that it caused. But before we dive into why I love this movie so much, you need to know about its backstory. Damien Chazelle already had the idea for La La Land all the way back in 2010. But at the time, studios weren't on board with a musical movie debut film, understandably, so he went on to direct Whiplash, another great movie, which garnered attention at the 2015 Oscars, and he was able to use that momentum to create his dream project. The movie opens up on a highway in heavy traffic. After a Broadway-level musical number, the story follows Mia, a struggling actress played by Emma Stone, until she hears a piano medley that she's drawn to follow. The movie then shifts into Ryan Gosling's character, Sebastian, starting from the very beginning of that day. Both characters have dreams that seem out of reach. Seb wants to open a jazz club, Mia wants to get her big break in acting, and the movie follows the relationship and the path to making their dream a reality. First of all, the opening number, let's talk about that for a second. Chazelle said that they only had 3 days to set up, block, rehearse, and film the dance number for Another Day of Sun because they actually had to shut down the freeway for it. That entire scene, from the moment they show the traffic to the moment the title screen appears, it's not one long continuous shot like I thought, but actually 3 combined shots, and it's done so seamlessly that you really can't tell. Chazelle said he wanted the musical numbers to be shown in as few takes as possible, and the effect is worth it. The highway scene wasn't even CGI. The shot of everybody dancing on their cars was actually real people moving at the same time. And you can kind of tell from the rehearsal dents that are already on some of the cars before they start dancing. There's so many new things to focus on every time I watch. I love it. The other musical number I love is Someone in the Crowd. I love everything about it. The roommates running in and out of frame, the pacing, the quiet little bongo sound that plays over the shots of the drinks being poured. It's so good. It's impossible to look away during the entire song because there's so much going on. There's these swooping shots that weave through the party and create constant movement that almost feels anxious and claustrophobic, but also exciting and fun. And then Mia shuts herself in the bathroom and you finally get a chance to breathe. The lights dim. The music slows. She walks back out into the party and everyone around her dances in slow motion. And then, just when the music begins to pick back up, the music cuts and someone jumps into the pool and lands right on the beat drop. It's so satisfying! God, it's perfect. There's a couple of film elements that I love in this movie, like the camera movements. I've already talked about it, but the way the camera moves in the movie adds so much life to what is already a loud and visually pleasing film. The tracking shots in the first and second songs pull your focus from character to character, almost like a dance itself. The shot in the pool during Someone in the Crowd with the spinning camera becomes Mia's perspective of the party. It's dizzying and chaotic and overwhelming. Or when the jazz band plays during the summer montage, that whip-like camera pulls between the band and Mia that I've come to expect from Chazelle's direction add this charming feeling to the movie. It makes me think of the final scene between Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in Whiplash, but while it feels like anxiety-inducing in that scene, it feels a lot more lighthearted and fun here. And it's all done practically! The cameraman actually moves the camera that fast to give that effect. It's not added in post. Even the smaller movements, like when Seb is playing piano at his job and transitions into the music he loves right as the camera passes over his left shoulder, or the slow zoom and spin during Fools Who Dream feel intentional. Or when the camera switches to a shaky handheld shot when tension is high. Static shots have their place in cinema, but I love when a director lets the camera interact with the scene. When I think of La La Land, I think of color. And if I went on about every use of color in this movie that I love, this video would be longer than the actual movie itself, so I'll limit myself. There are 4 main colors to associate with La La Land: red, yellow, green, and blue. These colors are in pretty much every frame of the movie, and they are always saturated. The cafe Mia works at is blue and green. Mia's apartment is red, yellow, green, blue. The audition rooms are... so on and so on. The wardrobe includes these 4 colors, almost making it a point to do so. It's rare that you won't see a character wearing any of the 4 in a scene. If I said the camera is its own character, the color is another. The colors in the room can represent the stages of a relationship, or the feelings of the people on screen. I won't go too into detail about this, but a YouTuber, Archer Green, made a fantastic video essay about the use of color theory in this movie, and I recommend watching it because he can explain it a lot better than I can. Saturation also plays a key part in telling the story. Bold, saturated colors represent new beginnings or new hope, while dull, lifeless colors indicate an ending, or a loss of hope. Mia begins her journey surrounded by color, and it reflects in her character. She dreams of becoming an actress, and she's putting in the work to get there. She believes that she can make it in the industry, but as the movie progresses, the color fades from both her surroundings and her wardrobe. She's tired of rejection. She's given up. Her dream fades away, and life becomes dull. Sebastian starts in this state. His apartment lacks color, he has a dream, but he's stuck doing a job he doesn't love. Mia enters his life, and all of a sudden, with her comes color. Bouncing off of color really quick, the lighting also plays a part in storytelling. In the bathroom at the party, the lights dim on Mia as she speaks her inner thoughts. This happens every time a character taps into their aspirations. It happens again when Sebastian begins to play his own music at the restaurant, and again during Mia's final audition when she's finally able to do what she loves while being herself. It feels very reminiscent of a stage play when a character is lit by a spotlight during a monologue, which, again, feels intentional considering Chazelle's point of making a Broadway-esque movie. A quick speed round of little details I love about the movie that didn't fit into a specific category. I love that the theater represents the relationship, and it's also the spot of their first date. The last 20 minutes of the movie, I can make a whole separate video on just that. It's so beautiful, and a minor thing, but all the food and drink shots are gorgeous. And I like that Ryan Gosling learned how to play piano so he could actually play during his scenes. Of course, it's not a perfect movie by any means. There are moments that drag on, and I wasn't a huge fan of the planetarium scene. I know everybody loves it, but it wasn't my thing. And for a movie that praised jazz music, a little bit ironic to have John Legend be the only black actor with a speaking part, considering black culture created jazz music. Do I think Chazelle had this in mind when casting? No, but it's something that I noticed. Oh, and speaking of music, we can't talk about La La Land without talking about the soundtrack. I listen to it when I work. I don't think there's a single song in that movie that I don't care for. But even the songs without words tell a story. Mia and Sebastian's theme is the leading force that moves the story forward, marking important milestones in their lives. The first time we hear it is actually in the scene I'm drawing. Mia hears it after walking home from a party, and it draws her into the restaurant that Sebastian is playing at. Briefly, because he gets fired right after she walks in, but still. It's a thing that brings them together, and it symbolizes their first meeting. When Mia leaves her boyfriend's dinner to go see the movie with Seb, the theme plays at the restaurant. It plays at the planetarium when they have their first kiss. It plays when Seb misses Mia's show and they break up. It's the heartbeat of the movie. City of Stars is probably the song that everybody thinks of when they think of La La Land, and it's clear why. But what I really want to talk about is Fools Who Dream, the song that not many people reference, but what I think is a representation of the entire theme of the story. It's a song about taking risks and pursuing your dream, and art and human connection, and daring to be authentic in what you do. It's a dedication to artists that are often told their passions are foolish or unrealistic. This is the point I think Chazelle wanted to make. Why are the arts not taken seriously? Why did he have to make a serious movie first before Hollywood took his colorful musical seriously? La La Land is a love story, but not between Mia and Sebastian. At its core, it is a love letter to the artists, the fools who dream. Every aspect of this film is a nod to the arts. The main characters being an actress and a musician, both careers that are notoriously hard to break into and typically not taken seriously. The cinematography that breathes life into the movie. The special attention to wardrobe, another branch of art. Even the artwork throughout the movie, from the big California billboards Seb eats in front of in the beginning, to the painted backdrops at the movie lot, to the sculpture park they run through in the summer montage, to the little lightning painting behind the jazz band. The entire final montage is a tribute to the arts, Art is a career that comes with a lot of external doubt, but also an extreme amount of self-doubt. It's woven into the script during Mia and Sebastian's fight. I'm done embarrassing myself. No one showed up. I can't pay back the theater. Because maybe I'm not good enough. Being an artist is hard. I've tried to sell at markets and didn't make a profit. I've lost money. I don't make enough to match minimum wage. I've sold maybe one drawing this year, and we're going on August, so that's not great. At times I do worry about what my future will look like, and I would be lying if I said I hadn't had similar thoughts to this dialogue more than once. But I couldn't imagine not making art. Especially at a time when AI is on the rise and people have forgotten how valuable a human experience is in the process of creation. Art is human. Creation is a form of rebellion and self-expression. Art matters. The world needs dreamers. So bring on the rebels, the ripples from pebbles, the painters, the poets, and plays. Here's to the fools who dream.